Okay, so we're going to do the next thing now, which is look at Cygwin. What I was just doing now, these videos might not go up at the same time, but what I was just doing was a video on running damn small Linux on a Raspberry Pi in QEMU with x86 emulation, which is the worst thing ever, and I recommend that you never even think about doing it, because that video was 35 minutes long, and it's probably the worst thing I've ever done, ever. So, yeah, just don't do it. So we're going to be doing this in Windows 7, which I'll get started now. So this is a trial copy, so it's going to moan about not being activated and stuff. But all I want to do is get some Linux tool, well, get Cygwin installed, see how responsive it is, and have a look at some general things. Yeah, okay. Because it's a trial. Probably not really up to date either. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what hardware we're on for some general, idea of how it's performing. So I've given it 4 gigs of RAM, which is probably much more than it needs, and 4 CPUs, and I'm on a 3.2 gigahertz 4th gen i5, and hopefully it has enough storage space. Let's see how much of that it's used. So generally this is fairly snappy. Got 9 gigs, that's probably enough. Okay, so Internet Explorer. Okay, so let's have a look at Cygwin.com. MSN is so spammy. Okay. I'm always amazed they made that the default page, because it's just so full of spam and junk. Okay. So how do I download it? Install. Actually, I'm just going to take a snapshot quickly, because I have a memory of this being impossible to remove. I don't know if I've already got this installed. No. Okay. Because I really want to keep this here. This is just for testing my website works in Internet Explorer. Because, yay for Microsoft, I have to keep a virtual machine around just for that. I'll take a snapshot. Call it before Cygwin, so I can get rid of it easily. This is on an SSD, so it's not going to take too long. How much disk space do I have? Enough. Okay. So, 32-bit version of Windows, this one. So, setup x86. Save. View downloads. Run. Okay. Right. Never done this before. Install from internet. Download without install. Oh, right, fine. Yeah. All users. Okay. I don't really know what a good server is. Let's have a quick look. I might recognise some of these. Hopefully at least one of them is in the UK. Yeah, it's also because it's a trial and it's expired. Here we go. Let's try that. That seems promising. Okay, well, you can't see this, but this is using loads of CPU power. It might be Windows though. Select packages to install. So I want Python. I have to do it this way, do I? Devil. Can I not just install Python? Okay, Python 2. This is a really weird thing. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to run this, and then if I need to I'll install more stuff later, because I don't really know what I need. Okay, and all of this other stuff are dependencies, I suppose. Okay. Hopefully this isn't going to take too long. This reminds me of one of those really old school progress bars from like Windows 95 installs. So what I'm going to try and do is get dev-info running on this and, well, some other random stuff. And maybe I'll see if I can get ddrescue GUI running on it in the course of this video. But if it takes a long time, I'm not going to do it because I just did a 35-minute video. So let's try and keep this short. Download's nearly done, so I have a feeling I'm not going to be waiting for ages, which is good. Not waiting for ages is good. Oh, the installing's fairly quick too. Oh, that's good. I could have done this on Windows 10, but that would be slow because it's on my laptop, and that's kind of slow. But yeah, I thought I'm going to do the Windows subsystem for Linux stuff on Windows 10, so I might as well do this on Windows 7 because that's a bit of variation. Yeah, that's coming soon as well. Speaking of, I have a note for this stuff, so I'm just going to note that I have recorded the other thing, and that I'm doing the Cygwin thing. Oh, I also have some Terrapin photos coming up as well. People seem to like those, unsurprisingly. But I didn't make a post for all of them. I also have some photos of Rotterdam from that holiday as well that I thought might be cool. It was mostly fairly industrial, but it was quite interesting. I quite liked it. It's like the first time I've ever run an installer on Windows for something that hasn't taken ages. Well, okay, not the first time. First time I've installed something reasonably large on Windows, and it hasn't taken ages, probably. So I've always felt like when this computer was new in 2013, it had Windows 7 on it, and when I booted into Linux, which was probably Ubuntu 12 at the time, it was really fast. And when I booted into Windows, it immediately seemed like it was 6 years old. So yeah, I mean, it didn't have the SSD in it at that time because that was an upgrade, but still. Don't know what it's doing now. Some post-install stuff, I suppose. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. Apparently Cygwin used to install everything. But fortunately it doesn't do it now. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So, here we go. Okay, so we have a terminal. And there's nothing there. Just use the human readable sizes. So I have 9 gigs of space available. And I do sort of have a Linux style file system too. That's cool. So do I have things like Nano? No. Python 2 though, and Python 3 I should have. Okay, so can I do stuff like import system dot something, system dot version, is that one? There's not. No, there we go. I'm guessing I don't actually have anything very helpful on this though, do No, this is quite a good Linux terminal, so there's things like Control D to end of file, close standard input work. Do I have pip? Python -pip. Mistyped that. No. Okay, so I'm going to need to install some more stuff. Okay, well that's fine. So I'm going to want Cygwin. How do I do this? Okay, I guess I just have to run the file again. Let's do that. Yes, yes. Next. 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 Yeah. So it seems like I just run this again if I want more stuff. Okay. So, view. I guess I want the category. I don't know. Python pip. Maybe. No. Okay. Okay. Well, let's install LSHW. No. Nano. Maybe I don't have that. Yeah, we have Nano. What else do we want? WX Python. WX GTK, maybe. Well, let's just go for WX then. WX. Here we go. Python-WX 2.8. Let's try some desktop applications like Audacity. Just because we can. And Firefox. I'll probably like install everything under the sun. Another lightweight browser then. Terminal. Synaptic. That's not going to work. Terminal. No terminal. Actually, yeah, let's not do that. Let's do Alex terminal because that's lightweight. And pip. And we do pip. Yep, let's do pip. Because then I can install other stuff. TMID code. I just wonder how much of this stuff works, if it's even here. See, some of it's just not here if it needs hardware access. GIMP. Well, that's a decent set to go with for now. I'm probably going to install tons of stuff. Right, so I'm going to pause it until this is done, so you don't have to keep watching me do this. Okay, so that worked. As you can see, I just tried to run GIMP, but it wouldn't let me. It says it can't open the display. So what I'm going to do is run this again. I lined this up just now. Run this again. And select some packages. So I can install an X server. Full. There we go. So Xorg server. We want X in it if it's here. Probably want Xorg docs. Probably want X launch as well. This is just instructions I'm following from the Cygwin website. Also go with OpenSSH. I'm just installing everything. I really like this. Let's also... that'll do. I don't want to spend ages doing this. Okay. I'm going to pause this again. I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, so I have started Cygwin server, which I guess I just leave running like that. And now... so I've asked, stop getting in the way. Hopefully that'll still work anyway. I have to set this, let's just look at the instructions, shall I? Oh, give me a second. Okay, so here we go. If I run StartX, I get this. And I don't think this is how you're really supposed to do it, but I guess this is an X term. It does seem to work. So if I run, I have LX terminal installed, so in theory. Oh, come on, stop getting in the way. There we go. Did it just quit? Ugh, okay, I'm going to turn Avast off. Okay, Avast is now disabled, so it shouldn't get in the way. Except it's already managed to break something by the looks of it. Oh, let's try GIMP. It's working, I think. Tried. Yay! So it sort of works. I think Avast broke stuff. Because it like tries to work, but it's not quite getting there. So yeah, like most of these things work. Maybe it's just because it's on a virtual machine or something. It doesn't quite seem to do everything you'd expect it to. I'm going to try installing some more stuff. I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, so this is the final set of install things. So what's occurred to me is I haven't actually managed to do very much with it yet, and part of the reason for that is because every time I do, there's some dependency missing for something, or something can be installed but doesn't quite work. Yes, I decided I'm kind of surprised it just opened actually. I decided to install LXDE just because I was curious. Can't install things like LibreOffice, sadly, either. We do have things like Funa if it opens. This is really weird because it's like a virtual machine, except that it's not. This is really strange. So I can actually access Windows too. I'm surprised Avast thought this was a virus. But oh well. Yeah, so let's try doing some stuff. So I installed a web browser, which is Epiphany, because I couldn't install Firefox, but Epiphany is installed, so I don't know whether it works. I don't know whether it's usable. Oh, seems like it. Which is interesting, it's actually not too slow. I mean, it's using a lot of CPU power though, so I suspect on a slower system it would be quite slow. It's weird because this is like using a virtual machine, except it's not actually a virtual machine. Here's an interesting thought. I wonder if we could use watch YouTube videos on it. see, shall we? Yeah, this is quite slow actually. It might be because of Windows though. If I can find something. Here we go. Here's a video. No idea. Yeah, okay, don't like it then. Interesting to try it though. I've got my CPU pegged at like 50% just doing this. So we have LX terminal. So like, it's not fast, but it is usable. I knew someone who used to work entirely in Cygwin back in the Windows NT days. Because he hated the Windows tools. Well, shouldn't say hated, hates, still does. And he also used a Vorach keyboard so no one could use his computer. Well, that wasn't the reason why, but I'm sure that's what happened. This seems to be quite an old version of LXDE if you ask me. Is that a microphone? This isn't really going to have anything to play or record from though. But I just thought it would be interesting to see if it would open. And Abbey word. So the problem with this is it's limited software selection, I think. That's weird. Not sure why it's doing that. Can't really seem to type either. Yeah, so it's like weird things like this. Stuff seems to sort of almost work. It might be my virtual machine, but not quite. I'm not exactly confident in my virtual machine's ability to do things though, so I think it might just be that. Yeah, that still doesn't work. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe I could use this to run DD Rescue GUI on Windows, because you can sort of bundle the Cygwin libraries with your program rather than having to have people install it. But yeah, it kind of doesn't work very well. But it is interesting. The reason it's probably got a slightly not very good software collection is selection is that programs have to be recompiled to run on it, which is also why there's this kind of laggy performance thing, because it's like I also got Pluma in here actually, because it's like running stuff in Wine. I really like this. Oh, I thought I installed it. Do I have... Okay, well, never mind. But yeah, this seems like quite a cool solution if you have to run Windows for some reason. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what your organisation uses, but you need Linux tools. Although Windows Subsystem for Linux seems like a better alternative now if you're running Windows 10. But yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I quite like it. So I think that's Cygwin. Very interesting. I've never looked at that before. I just had all of the how-tos for Cygwin/X and all that kind of thing up on my other monitor, so I knew what I was doing while the video was paused. But yeah, very interesting. Like it a lot. Really do. I think it's great. But like Wine, I think it's amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think I can use it for what I wanted to use it for. But such is life. So I think this is about the end of this video, because it's kind of getting long now. But I have more things coming up, like Windows Subsystem for Linux stuff, so see you then.